Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a jam-packed Tuesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk all things Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and today's report includes Pittsburgh Steelers owner Art Rooney II speaks about the team and the upcoming offseason. The Pittsburgh Penguins' road woes and lack of effort continues in San Jose. Breaking news as the Pittsburgh Pirates are bringing back this 2021 All-Star, and more. As always, I would appreciate it if you like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the first news story of the day. Pittsburgh Steelers owner Art Rooney II speaks about the team and the upcoming offseason. As much as Pittsburgh Steelers fans like to complain about head coach Mike Tomlin and the players and anyone else they can think of, only one person in the organization actually has the power to make substantial change. That person is president and owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Art Rooney II. Like he does after the conclusion of every Steelers season, Rooney spoke with a team-affiliated interviewer and a handful of reporters yesterday to talk about how the 2024 season went and look ahead at the 2025 season. In his interview this year, Rooney hit on two big talking points around his team right now, those being the coaching staff and the quarterback position. Firstly, Rooney talked about how he feels about Mike Tomlin, the rest of the coaching staff, the job they did this season, and how the staff will be moving forward, saying, look, you gotta start with saying, it wasn't good enough. Finishing that way wasn't good enough. Wasn't what we expected, and we need to be better than that. Mike certainly knows that. He's evaluating the staff and will continue to do so, but the coaching staff, I think most of it will stay in place. Our coordinators, I think, will stay in place. I look forward to having Arthur Smith for a second year and having him have more of an opportunity to kind of really put his system in place. So, there's work to be done, and for the most part, I think we have the right people in the right jobs to do it. Talking about Tomlin specifically, Rooney added, "You don't win that many games if you're not a good coach. I know he's frustrated, like we all are, in terms of not being able to take that next step, but we still feel good about him being our leader. When I talk to the players, they still want to play for Mike." By the sounds of those quotes, fans can start lowering their expectations of seeing wholesale changes, and Tomlin saying in his season-ending press conference that changes would be happening because, quote, "we aren't going to do the same things and expect a different result," was a lie. Despite saying that large changes will not be happening to the coaching staff, Rooney said that he understands the fans' frustrations and that he shares them, also similar to what Tomlin said. The last note on the coaching staff from Rooney is that the size of it, which he currently says is 27, is not a problem, so you can probably scratch off the idea of another hire being made like Bobby Slowick. Moving on to the quarterback position, Rooney was asked if he has any clue who will be on the team in 2025, replying, "I think we saw enough out of both Russell and Justin to think that we'd like to have at least one of them back. Probably unlikely to have them both back, but I think we had enough success with both of them at different stretches during the season. That would be our first choice to have one of them back, but at the same time, we have to look at the draft. We have to look at what else is out there. We have more than one job opening in the quarterback room, and we've got to bring in some people to help us. I think they're both capable quarterbacks, and my preference will be to sign one of them, so that'll be the priority, and I think that will give us the best opportunity to move forward." Despite the team's priority being to bring back one of Wilson or Fields, Rooney recognizes that there will be a market for both quarterbacks and that they'll have to keep their options open. With that line there, Steelers Nation now hopes that Justin Fields doesn't hold any grudge about getting benched and will come back to the Steelers next season. Alright, in rapid-fire fashion, here are some other bullet point notes from Rooney's interview. Rooney said that there were some good things to take away from the team's 10-3 start, but that the schedule at the end of the season put the Steelers in a tough spot. Like Tomlin, he still thinks that running the ball is the key to success because the Steelers play in the AFC North and outside in the elements. He feels good about the last two Steelers draft classes and thinks that they can be the foundation for the future. The team is not opposed to making a big move in free agency again, but it has to, quote, "be the right guy in the right place at the right time." On to some of the players, Rooney said that he is disappointed that Kenny Pickett did not turn out to be the Steelers' long-term quarterback. He says that wide receiver George Pickens has great talent, but doesn't know if the team can get him to his full potential. He hopes that outside linebacker TJ Watt, who will be entering into the last year of his contract, will be in Pittsburgh beyond next season. Defensive tackle Cam Hayward had a fantastic 2024 and can hopefully repeat that performance next season. Rooney is hopeful that the Steelers will be the first team to play a regular season game in Ireland. And finally, members of the organization are going to the NFL draft in Green Bay this year to learn how the operation works before Pittsburgh hosts the draft in 2026. And yeah, that's about what everybody expected from Rooney's press conference. Blame the end-of-season schedule for the team's failures, make no changes to the coaching staff, and give long-winded answers without actually giving an answer. What else would you expect from an NFL owner who is also a lawyer? Get ready, Steelers Nation, for another offseason hyping up the Steelers, just for us to have this same conversation this time next year. This Pittsburgh Steeler is heading to his first ever Pro Bowl. Even though the NFL's Pro Bowl rosters have already been finalized, that doesn't mean that everyone who made it will go. Injuries and other circumstances see a few players pull out of the All-Star event every year. One such example is Steelers outside linebacker TJ Watt, who will miss this year's Pro Bowl with an ankle injury. Because Watt pulled out of the Pro Bowl, that didn't mean his spot remained vacant, and Ravens outside linebacker Kyle Van Noy replaced him. Now another Steelers player, like Van Noy, will be heading to his first ever Pro Bowl as a replacement. Announced yesterday afternoon by his representation, XL Sports Management, Steelers left guard Isaac Seumalo will be replacing Super Bowl-bound Kansas City Chiefs right guard Trey Smith at the Pro Bowl. The 31-year-old Seumalo had a bit of a down season in 2024, according to PFF, surrendering 26 quarterback pressures, but only 2 QB hits and 1 sack on 826 offensive snaps. Despite the stats, Seumalo has been a leader by example on the Steelers' young offensive line and is well respected across the league. He will now join defensive tackle Cam Hayward, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, special teamer Miles Killebrew, and kicker Chris Boswell as the Steelers' representation at this year's Pro Bowl. One more time, congratulations to Isaac Seumalo on making your first ever Pro Bowl. The Pittsburgh Penguins' road woes and lack of effort continues in San Jose. Coming off 2 bad losses to some not-so-good teams, the Pittsburgh Penguins were in San Jose last night to take on the Sharks, who were on a 6-game losing streak. In the first period, the Penguins controlled the pace of play for the most part, but couldn't get a couple of good opportunities past Sharks goaltender Yaroslav Askarov. Despite starting the second with most of a power play, the Pens couldn't find their footing, and the Sharks capitalized with a goal by former Penguin Mikael Granlund nearly midway through the frame. After that goal, the rest of the period was lifeless for both teams, to say the least. That wasn't the case just 24 seconds into the third, as Sidney Crosby swatted the puck at the net, and it slipped in to get the Penguins on the board and tie the game. Unfortunately, that tie was quickly broken as a costly turnover in the Pen zone was buried by Macklin Celebrini. After that, Pittsburgh had 2 golden opportunities that were squandered in a failed penalty shot for Drew O'Connor and a Michael Bunting goal wiped out by goaltender interference. The Pens fought valiantly the rest of the way, but couldn't get it done, losing to the Sharks 2-1. Honestly, just what a crap game played by the 2016 Stanley Cup finalists, showing just how far the mighty have fallen. This is the Penguins' 3rd straight loss, each of the 3 to non-playoff teams. No structure to their play, poor puck handling, and just an overall lack of energy and effort reinforces the notion that the Penguins need to hit the reset button in the offseason. Yesterday, I said that the Pens need to tank for a top 5 draft pick, but I want to add something that I forgot to mention. Mike Sullivan has got to go. I'm not sure how many good things we did tonight. Yeah, you got that one right, Mike. In too many games this season, the same story plays out. I don't care how many cups he's won, nor do I care if he's well liked by the core anymore. Winning, next year because they're tanking for a top 5 draft pick, needs to be put above friendships again. I appreciate and respect everything you did for the franchise, Mike, but that locker room needs a new voice, like a person stranded in the desert needs water. I and many other Pens fans hate that it has come to this point, but it goes back to that old metaphor, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. And Sully, you are that villain. Anyway, the 7-game road trip for the Penguins will mercifully come to an end tomorrow night against the Utah Hockey Club at 9:30 p.m. A minority stake of the Pittsburgh Penguins is going up for sale. In 2021, Fenway Sports Group, an American multinational sports holding conglomerate, purchased a majority stake of the Pittsburgh Penguins for $900 million. Since then, the Penguins have been on a steady decline, and now FSG may be doing this. Per NHL analyst Kevin Weeks and ESPN NHL reporter Emily Kaplan, this week, Fenway Sports Group will be taking the Pittsburgh Penguins to market and will be exploring the potential sale of a minority franchise ownership stake. Weeks and Kaplan added that the size of the equity stake is unknown, but FSG is expected to retain a majority stake. Not much information beyond this is known, so we'll have to wait and see if a minority stake is actually sold in the coming weeks. I wonder if this is FSG trying to drum up some money or interest in the Pens since the season has bottomed out. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments below. The Pittsburgh Pirates have signed 2 left-handed relief pitchers. To end the 2024 season, the Pittsburgh Pirates had 4 left-handed relief pitchers on their major league roster. Those 4 were Aroldis Chapman, Jalen Beeks, Ryan Borucki, and Joey Wentz. Wentz is the lone returnee from that foursome for this upcoming season, and one of just 2 southpaws in the Bucs bullpen with free agent signee Caleb Ferguson. That was the case until last night. Yesterday, the Pirates made 2 signings. The first, broken by MLB Network insider Jon Heyman, is left-handed relief pitcher Tim Mayza signing a 1-year, $1.15 million major league contract. Mayza made appearances for 2 different clubs in 2024, and as a whole, pitched in 50 games, earning an 0-2 record, a .633 ERA, a .162 WHIP, 28 strikeouts to 15 walks, and 42 2/3 innings pitched. Those stats do look pretty bad, but just like Ferguson, Mayza improved with a change of scenery. After being released by the Toronto Blue Jays in July last year, the 33-year-old from Allentown, PA, signed with the New York Yankees and got better. The second signing that the Bucs made yesterday, also broken by Heyman, is left-handed relief pitcher Ryan Borucki, returning to the Pirates on a minor league contract with a spring training invite. However, should Borucki reach the majors, like Mayza, he will earn $1.15 million plus incentives. With the black and gold last season, the 30-year-old had an injury-riddled season, appearing in just 14 games while recording a .736 ERA, a .164 WHIP, and 13 strikeouts to 4 walks in 11 innings pitched. With these 2 signings, the following from Fangraphs, the Pirates bullpen looks like it's pretty much done being filled out before pitchers and catchers report to Bradenton, Florida in 2 weeks. It's not the most intimidating relief group in the league, and it'll be interesting to see which pitchers, out of the massive group the Bucs are bringing to Pirate City, will impress and which will fall flat once spring training begins. Breaking news, the Pittsburgh Pirates are bringing back this 2021 All-Star. Well, it turns out the Mayza and Borucki signings aren't the only bit of Pirates news I'm going to be talking about today. Breaking news came down this morning, with MLB Network insider Jon Heyman once again reporting that the Pittsburgh Pirates are reuniting with utility man Adam Frazier on a 1-year, $1.525 million major league contract. Frazier was taken in the 6th round of the 2013 MLB draft by the Pirates, with whom he spent his first 6 seasons in the major leagues. In July of 2021, the only year he was an All-Star for the Bucs, the 33-year-old was traded to the San Diego Padres, and since then, he has bounced around the league, playing for the Padres, Seattle Mariners, Baltimore Orioles, and most recently, the Kansas City Royals. With the Royals last season, Frazier played in just over 100 games, recording a .202 batting average with 4 home runs, 22 RBIs, and a .576 OPS. And yep, that sounds like a Pirates stat line. As much as I and a lot of other Pirates fans love Frazier, I couldn't be more perplexed by this move. What exactly will his role with the Pirates be? No offense to Frazier, but I hope to God he isn't our opening day right fielder with somewhat better options still on the market, and I would think that he isn't a starting middle infielder with Nick Gonzalez and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa there. That only leaves him to be a plug-and-play utility man around the field, but even then, there are already at least 3 of those guys on the roster in Jared Triolo, Nick York, and Billy Cook. I mean, in baseball, you can never have too much depth, but this throw everything against the wall and see what sticks approach is being taken a little bit too far by the Bucs front office. I swear, if this is the last move that they make with all those other free agent right fielders still out there, I'm going to lose it. At the very least, Frazier will be a good glue guy in the locker room, and he gets to reunite with an old teammate in Andrew McCutchen. Now I'm just anxious to see if he and left-handed starting pitcher Bailey Falter will fight over who gets to wear number 26 next season. Anyways, welcome back to Pittsburgh, Adam Frazier. And finally, this Pirate player is on the cover of the next MLB The Show video game. There are many accolades and awards that an athlete can earn over their career, but one that can be enjoyed by both the athlete and fans is being on the cover of a video game. Well, according to a video posted on social media yesterday and a post by the MLB on X today, this Pittsburgh Pirate will be on the cover of MLB The Show 25. That Pirate, unsurprisingly, is starting pitcher Paul Skeens, who in the video called out 2 other players, saying, "Gunner, Ellie, I heard you guys are claiming the cover of the show. I just want to let you know that the cover's mine. So let's settle this before the cover drops. According to my understanding of that last night, it sounded like we are getting a 3-player cover of shortstop Gunnar Henderson from the Baltimore Orioles, shortstop Elly De La Cruz from the Cincinnati Reds, and Skeens from the Bucks, and that is exactly what happened. Here is the first look at the cover of MLB The Show 25 with all 3 players that was released by the MLB today, and man, what a beauty it is. Skeens is now the 2nd Pirate ever to be featured on the cover of MLB The Show, the first and only being Pirates legend and his current teammate Andrew McCutchen in 2013. MLB The Show 25 will officially launch on March 18th, and I know that I and many other Pirates fans will be flocking to stores to get this game with that star-studded cover. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a Tuesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. Again, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow with some more Pittsburgh sports news.